Hello and welcome to the Better in Business podcast. We're on to number 6, my friends, of this 7-part series. So this is your business fundamentals, and this is the 7 deadly cash flow sins. If you haven't listened to the first 5, you need to. The first one's only 20 minutes, the rest are 10 minutes. We're going fast and furious, and this is to help you do better in business. So listen up and let's get started. You've tuned into the Better in Business podcast, and I'm your host, Jeannie Savage. I'm a multi-award winning business veteran and head of the Strategic Bookkeeper Network. My network of strategic bookkeepers is dedicated to helping entrepreneurs do better in business. This podcast aims to challenge your thinking. If you're not thinking the right way, how can you act the right way? Each episode will dive into key drivers of success, which I also call the rules of the game. Learn the rules and play to win. Let's go. I like to start every episode by reminding you that it is globally recognized that pillar number 1 for success is up-to-date, accurate bookkeeping, which is the only way you can see how your business is performing in terms of profit and cash. If your books aren't right up to date, visit betterinbusiness.global, drop me a line and I'll connect you with a certified strategic bookkeeper. Fire your bookkeeper and hire a strategic bookkeeper. Bookkeeping is a cost, whereas strategic bookkeeping is an investment that averages a 10x return on the fees. Okay, so let's jump into sin number 6, which is all about cash. So let's talk about that now. And unlike the last 3, so just like with the other episodes, I'm having a look at the business fundamentals, what I call assets. So it's the slide for the training that we give you. So the last few, when we were looking at receivables, payables, and inventory, so those 3, the theme there was we need to get money in from our customers before we pay out. And if we're unable to do that due to the industry that we trade in, we need to really take accountability, responsibility for the cash flow gap and really understand what that does to our business, okay? So cash at bank, look, all the deadly sins really, they excite me in terms of they really are the things that massively, massively impact your business when we start with the numbers, because in business, we have to start and end with the numbers. And in between is the action that we take, which comes from the numbers. And I'll always say we need to build the profit and the cash before we can get the privilege of the time wealth, okay? Profit and cash is like oxygen for your business. You imagine that as a human, you become very, very unwell. Your focus is just getting your health to a baseline, like being able to survive, Like that little joke we have, like I was out the other night and someone said, how are you going? And I said something like, I'm here and I'm breathing, right? We have to absolutely get ourselves our baseline health right. And it's the same in your business, And what we see a lot of is business owners completely ignoring the numbers and focusing on sales and focusing on all the exciting stuff. And there are times where my friends will say, Jeannie, you're crushing my dreams again. And I said to a friend recently, look, when you've got a dream in your heart to do with the business that you're running, could you let me underpin it with a foundation that will allow that dream to become a reality instead of a nightmare? And the 7 deadly cash flow sins, this business fundamentals training, is all about underpinning your business dream with a solid foundation. And when it comes to cash, look, I am so passionate about this particular deadly sin. So let's kind of look at what it is now, break it down a little bit, but it is going to be a fast and furious episode, okay? So the deadly sin around cash really relates to running your business on the cash in the bank, which is a big no-no. And I would say 8 out of 10 business owners, maybe more, especially early on, think that when they look at the bank account, even really experienced business owners, I've met successful business owners and also failing business owners, because we know 8 or 9 out of 10 businesses will shut up shop within 5 years. So it's usually about 9 within the first 5 years. And then of the 10% that go on to survive, I think there's another shocking statistic around that. And entrepreneurs are often making less in their businesses than they could in a job, okay? So, but I've seen a range of entrepreneurs absolutely think that the cash in the bank can tell them something about their business performance. And I honestly think that it is better to digest right now, to become aware that the cash in the bank tells you pretty much nothing about how your business is performing. Cash in the bank tells you how much cash in the bank you've got. Like, it might tell you, oh, I can pay a bill, I can put some food on the table. But in terms of how your business is performing, in terms of profit, even in terms of cash flow, it doesn't tell you anything. And if you're thinking right now, but I thought it did, like, that can't be possible. The cash in the bank is the thing that absolutely is telling me. Well, as I've said before, there are 3 A's to change, right? Awareness, acceptance, action. What I'm telling you is not opinion, it's fact, it's a rule of the game. So I've made you aware of it. Are you going to accept it? Are you going to take action? We're going to look at that now, okay? So how am I going to break this one down for you? Because I know that this one is a hard one to digest. I will start by telling you, okay, so if cash in the bank doesn't tell you how your business is performing, what does? Yeah. Well, double entry accounting does. Boring. So bookkeepers are actually double entry accounting technicians. So the word bookkeeper is horrible and it doesn't actually represent what bookkeepers do, because bookkeepers are not accounts clerks, they're not administrators. The gap between what an admin person does and what an accounts person does and what a bookkeeper does, because a bookkeeper is a double entry accounting technician, the gap between those jobs is an absolute chasm. And actually, bookkeepers, strategic bookkeepers, also known as double entry accounting technicians, we actually support admin and accounts clerks to do all the things that they are not qualified and experienced to do. Okay, so I really want to make that clear. The gap between that kind of bucket of work, so to speak. So usually admin is that first step into this kind of white collar foray, white collar world of admin, accounts, bookkeeping. So there's the admin stuff, checking emails, typing, all those kind of things. Then there's accounts, which is a little bit of a step up, where we might do the accounts receivable, accounts payable, other little bits and bobs. And accounts clerks are where they begin to dip their toe in the water of what is heading towards bookkeeping. But then we take this giant leap over a chasm to get to double entry accounting technician work, which has this label of bookkeeping. So again, if you're listening to this and thinking, what? I had no idea. A bookkeeper is a double entry accounting technician. And actually, my friends, to get a little bit technical, a strategic bookkeeper is, ready for it, drum roll please, a management accountant. Okay, so with accounting, you've got tax accounting, takes care of all things tax and understands tax law and has to stay across that and read the budget and do everything else. And then you've got management accounting, which I absolutely love. Management accounting, most accountants will tell you, is super fun and so exciting. It's where we get to investigate the numbers. Yeah. So strategic bookkeeping is a management accounting process that I personally developed while working with clients to take to bookkeepers globally to get them to work with their clients to help more family businesses thrive. Yeah. But it's super fun because we investigate the numbers in order to help entrepreneurs who are the expert in their business see exactly what is actually going on in their business in order to make the decisions that will move the needle to profit, cash, and time wealth, my friends. Oh my goodness, I digress, but I feel like that was critical information for you as a business owner. I really, really do. Okay. If that was all new, and I know for a lot of people it will be, please listen to this again. So if your cash can't tell you what's performing in the bank, or your bank account can't, what does? Like I said, double entry accounting records. That is, you would have, or you should have, accounting software for your business. Yeah. And in there, when the transactions go in, what is happening is called double entry accounting. And that produces a set of financial reports, which is like your profit and loss, your balance sheet, your accounts receivable, payable, and so on. And that set of financial reports, my friends, tells you how your business is performing in terms of profit and cash. And that is why it is globally recognized that the first person that you need to put on your team, you won't win the game without a winning team, is a strategic bookkeeper. For a strategic bookkeeper, the first person they need to put on their team is admin, because that's generally the second person you put on your team. So now I am going to read a really quick story from the slide that I'm looking at from the Business Fundamentals training to just kind of put into context what happens when you think you can look at the bank account to look at how your business is performing, what can happen when you don't understand what I've just shared with you. So some time ago, I met lovely business partners, Drew and Andy. They'd been in business for a couple of years and neglected the books and some obligations along the way, which were catching up with them. They'd always had cash left in the bank accounts, so they presumed things must be okay. That said, Drew had a gut feeling that under the hood, things might be breaking down. He was right. I bought the books up to date, and unfortunately, their obligations in tax and superannuation totaled more than $100,000. Their business had been turning a loss, and the money in the bank had fooled them into believing they were profitable. Yeah. So basically, are you looking at your financial statements monthly from your accounting software to see how your business is performing in terms of profit and cash each month? And do you really know how to read them? Yeah. So if you are doing that, you can score yourself 1. If you're not doing that, you can score yourself 0. Now, I could absolutely rattle on and on about this deadly sin, okay, but I feel like I've given you a lot of information and you can go back and listen to this again as well. So in terms of the action that you're going to take, absolutely, I recommend that you do the business health check that your strategic bookkeeper can provide you with, or we can provide you with. We heard from an entrepreneur the other day who was saying just how incredibly helpful, impactful, powerful that business health check was, and really helped her. She's a lady tradie to really understand what she needed to do next. Okay, so you can connect with me to grab that business health check, or to connect with a strategic bookkeeper, because I'm going to encourage you to fire your bookkeeper and hire a strategic bookkeeper. Okay, I'm going to see you in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed that episode as much as I enjoyed recording it. I would love to help you start doing better in business right now by giving you a free little ebook. It's a how-to guide. It's called The 7 Deadly Cash Flow Sins. And also, I've developed a business health check for you. It's super high value. Both are available at betterinbusiness.global. If you would like to fire your bookkeeper and hire a strategic bookkeeper to start enjoying a return on investment and get the support you need to optimize your business cash and profit and time wealth, simply visit betterinbusiness.global, drop me a line, and I'll connect you with a certified strategic bookkeeper near you. I'll see you in the next episode.